desolate wilderness of 1990s Quebec, where snow blanketed everything in a haunting white silence, my family and I lived in an old wooden house, isolated, alone, and miles away from the nearest neighbors. The kind of isolation that makes you question every sound you hear at night. It was a brutal winter evening, the kind where the cold seeps into the walls and the howling wind outside almost feels alive. I was 6 years old, curled up under heavy blankets with my two younger siblings, both too young to understand fear the way I did. But that night, we all felt it. It started with whispers. At first, I thought it was the wind clawing at the windows, but then came the distinct creak of the floorboards from downstairs. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Someone was in the house. I held my breath as my father, pale but determined, grabbed his hunting rifle and motioned for us to stay silent. His boots echoed down the wooden stairs, each step amplifying the tension that strangled the air. Minutes passed, then more. It felt like hours. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed from below, followed by a chilling silence. My father's footsteps grew frantic as he returned, his face as white as the snow outside. It was nothing, just a mouse, he said, but his voice trembled, and I knew he was lying. The next morning, my curiosity got the better of me. After endless pleading, my mother finally cracked and told me the truth. When my father had reached the living room, he found a man, someone he had never seen before, pacing frantically, muttering in a strange language. The man didn't seem to notice my father until he asked, "Are you okay?" That's when the stranger froze. Slowly, he turned his head, but there was no face, no eyes, no mouth, just smooth, pale skin where features should have been. Terrified, my father sprinted back to the stairs, flicked on all the lights, and returned to the living room, only to find it empty. The stranger had vanished. But the story didn't end there. Later that day, one of our neighbors stopped by, visibly shaken. She asked my mother if we had heard about the tragic accident that happened the night before. A young man had skidded off the icy road not far from our house. His car crashed into a tree, a thick branch piercing through the windshield, killing him instantly. The time of the accident, just about when my father saw the faceless man. We never spoke of it again, but sometimes on long, snowy nights, I swear I still hear faint whispers echoing from the living room, just beyond the shadows.